What's up, everybody? World of Matchups coming to you live and direct today with the breakdown for the 2022 Jacksonville Jaguars. So, the Jags. Last year was an absolute dumpster fire of a season. Trevor Lawrence's first year. Shad Khan decides to try to make a big splash and bring in Urban Meyer, and it went awful. It was an absolute nightmare. The only thing I could potentially equate to how bad it went would be the Jamarcus Russell version of coaching. That's how bad Urban Meyer was. Eventually was released of his duties, and now we are trying to turn the page in Jacksonville. Shad Khan does something wonderful by bringing in coach who was sitting on the couch. How was Doug Peterson sitting on the couch? I don't know. That's a great move for them. I really do think that they are turning the page from that nightmarish season now with a coach who's got a ring on his finger, who has had a lot of success with people like Carson Wentz. He won a ring with Nick Foles. This is a good move for Jacksonville. Shad Khan got this one right, and I think they're on their way back. Now, they have some L's that they have to hold. I think after hosting Aiden Hutchinson and then going and drafting Travon Walker first, that's a big L. That's a big L. I don't even think Travon Walker was the best player in his own team. So I'm not a big fan of that. But it is what it is. They bring in Devin Lloyd. I like Devin Lloyd. I think that they're young building blocks on that defense, the linebackers and the defensive ends. They're doing what they have to do, and they're building the team from the inside out. So I do like what they're doing there. On offense, though, they signed Christian Kirk to $1 bazillion, $84 million. I mean, Christian Kirk hasn't done a thing in the National Football League in his entire life. That is an enormous L that you have to hold. How are you overpaying a guy like this to come in? He's not Randy Moss. So that is a nightmarish L. That's probably the biggest L in the whole football offseason. And it reset the wide receiver market. That's why you saw guys like Tyreek Hill end up going to Miami. That's why. You know what I mean? When a guy like Christian Kirk is making that much, guys who are 10 times better than him are going to expect more, and so the whole wide receiver market got reset. Not a big fan of that. They bring in Zay Jones. Not a big fan of that. They already have Uncle Marvin on the team. DJ Chark is now gone. They've just reloaded their team with a bunch of average guys when they had a bunch of average guys. Now, the big piece that we really need to talk about is Trevor Lawrence. Is Trevor Lawrence good? I think he is. I think Trevor Lawrence is still the biggest quarterback prospect to come out of college since Peyton Manning, but a lot of people aren't going to want to think so after what happened last year. But what you have to understand is he was put in a position to fail throughout his entire rookie campaign. He was never set up for success. He was never set up to win. And so now they're going about their business and at least trying to give him pieces. They also bring in tight end from the New York Giants, Evan Ingram, who I think is an absolute bum. But don't forget, Doug Peterson excels with tight ends. Look what he did with Zach Ertz. I think Evan Ingram is set up to have a pretty decent season in Jacksonville. They're going to pepper him with targets. A guy like Dan Arnold last year was catching balls all over the place for Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this could actually be a decent move. So, all in all, they bring in a bunch of pieces. I don't know if they're going to really equate to anything. After looking at their schedule, I see 4 wins, maybe 5. I'm going to give them 5 wins, and I'm going to be the type of guy that's not going to give up on Trevor Lawrence when everyone else is going to be calling him a bust. I think that you cannot expect him to have excelled with what he had last year. I'm willing to give him a pass on last year. This is a wait-and-see type of thing with Trevor Lawrence. I do think he's still very, very, very highly coveted quarterback in this league, and I would still draft him if I needed a quarterback. I think he's going to take a leap this year. Last year, I thought he could throw 25 touchdowns because they're going to be down in a lot of games. I definitely think he could definitely throw at least 20 to 25 touchdowns this year. Look, if a guy like Daniel Jones could throw 24 touchdowns his rookie year, Trevor Lawrence can throw 25 touchdowns. It's possible. They're going to have to throw a lot to stay in games. It is absolutely all there. And I think Doug Peterson, a solid head coach without all the off-the-field distractions, will help them bring it in. Tomorrow, we will do the New York Football Giants. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Subscribe at grabit.com and YouTube for World of Matchups for all quality football content in this year's offseason.